I have a crazy sponsorship story actually. So it was early on, and I'd been giving some presentations and just trying to help find solutions to the problem of addiction within the church, which has oftentimes been a challenge. And I was in another city. I was waiting for a plane, and somebody called me, and they were asking me questions about. They wanted to start a group at their parish, and they basically said, like, so we want to start a group. Should we call it like SA, or should we call it like the way, like just like a saint's name, or like what should we do, and things like that. And so we kind of talked through that, and I said, you could talk to your pastor and see what his preferences are. I think it's a bad idea to sort of like obfuscate the purpose of the program, because sometimes we, I don't know, we enable people to not be radically honest about their lives. Mm-hmm. And then at a certain point, this person asks me if I had ever been to like one of the international conferences for 12 step. And I said, actually, I've never really worked the steps before. And he was like, what? You've been like recommending this and you haven't done it? Like, do you need a sponsor? I'll be your sponsor. And I'm sitting there thinking, crap, I have a sponsor. And so that person became my first sponsor. And that lasted for a period of time. I mean, we can talk about this and just like in terms of like how you discern, like, okay, is this working out or not working out? With this particular sponsor, like after a while, it just like wasn't working anymore. And then I found a sponsor in a local community, and I was working with him for a while. And then finally, like the best thing I did was I had to find a sponsor who didn't really know me, and there was kind of no interference with anything. And that was just super helpful to find somebody who was able to speak like really raw truth into my life. I think being clergy, sometimes people treat us differently, like no matter what, just because like, oh, you must already understand what it means to surrender your life, and it just like sometimes my advice to priests who are in recovery is actually like, find somebody who's not Catholic to be your therapist, and find somebody who's not Catholic to be your sponsor. Like you need somebody who's just going to ask you curious questions and challenge you, and not somebody who's going to maybe make certain presumptions or try to be overly respectful about things because of like your state in life, or there's a dual relationship that can happen. And so that was just a real gift for me. And so there was some kind of shopping around and figuring things out, and sometimes I wanted to fire my sponsor and sometimes he wanted to fire me. But I think all that's it's not an odd story. It's not like an outlier.